Focus isn't a skill, it's a hidden weapon. If you think power means working harder and doing more, you're wrong. The real secret is elimination. If your mind feels crowded, chaotic, and stuck in place, it's because you're playing by the rules of ordinary people. This video is here to teach you how to rule your mind like a military strategist. Watch until the end, because this will completely change the way you think. Listen closely. Focus is not a productivity tool. Focus is a weapon. In a world that wants you distracted, confused, and drained, if you learn how to focus properly, you stop chasing success. Success starts chasing you. Niccolo Machiavelli understood a terrifying truth. People don't fail because they lack potential. They fail because they are scattered. The first law of power is simple. Anything that's scattered is weak. Anything that's concentrated becomes unstoppable. So the real question isn't, how do I focus? The real question is, how do I arm my mind? And the answer is brutal but simple: ruthless elimination. Most people think becoming better means adding more. New apps, new habits, new tasks. But the philosophy of power says focus doesn't start with adding. It starts with throwing things away. Machiavelli famously said a ruler must be both a lion and a fox to avoid traps, and a lion to scare off wolves. In your life, the traps are distractions. The wolves are the endless options in front of you. Your mind isn't busy because you're weak. It's busy because you said yes to everything. A strategic mind does something radical. It throws away 90% of what others obsess over. It says no to people who steal time. It doesn't try to be good at everything. Why? Because when you say yes to 10 things, your energy gets diluted like water. Diluted power isn't power, it's just noise. So choose one battlefield and burn every bridge behind you. If you want your life to change, you can't dabble. You must declare war. Pick one objective: money, building your body, mastering a skill, and lock on to it so hard that others either respect you or step aside. When there's no escape route, your brain finally understands this is serious. But be warned, once you do this, a powerful enemy appears: availability. The greatest enemy of progress isn't failure. It's being constantly reachable. The moment your phone buzzes and you instantly respond, your value drops. Old kings were advised to remain silent and mysterious for a reason. Someone who is always accessible can never be important. So cut 90% of notifications. While others scroll Instagram, disappear. Vanish from noise and chaos for 3 hours a day. You don't owe the world your constant presence. You owe yourself progress. Let people feel your absence. That's how presence becomes powerful. Now we reach the concept of pressure. Machiavelli said necessity and constraint force people into action. Comfort is the enemy of focus. Great figures in history didn't wait for motivation. They trapped themselves. How? They set impossible deadlines. When you have something to lose, your brain becomes laser sharp. Society worships balance because it justifies laziness. But don't seek balance, seek control. Balance is for average people. Control is for the powerful. You may need to sacrifice entertainment for a while, and that's fine. You're building an empire. Let's be honest. Focus isn't soft or romantic. Focus is violence against distraction. It's declaring war on the lazy part of yourself. Don't negotiate with distraction. Delete the app. Block the site. Cut off the friend who only drains your time. Design your day like a dictator, not a tourist. Tourists wander. Dictators plan every minute. You might say, fine, I put my phone away, but what about my thoughts? Exactly. Machiavelli warned that the greatest dangers come from within. Betrayal always begins inside the palace. The real problem isn't Instagram. It's the part of you addicted to validation. You must become the king of your mind. Your attention is your crown. Drop it for even a moment, and someone else will pick it up. So what's the practical rule? Be a sniper, not a machine gun. Don't try to do everything. Find the one task, the one skill that moves everything else, and commit to it. To do this, you must spy on yourself. Observe when your mind is sharp. Notice what distracts you. This isn't fluffy self-help. It's tactical intelligence for self-domination. Create a ritual for work, specific music, specific lighting. These signal your brain that it's time for war. Even if you don't feel focused, act focused. Pretend long enough, and the identity becomes real. And there's one thing people avoid: solitude. Machiavelli didn't write his greatest work in a palace. He wrote it in exile, alone. Don't fear solitude. Clear days when no one can reach you. At first, your mind will scream. You'll feel bored. That's good. It means detox has begun. When you can sit alone for 20 minutes in silence and think about your strategy, that's when you're becoming powerful. But remember, without emotional control, all of this collapses. One bad message, one insult, one small problem can destroy your focus. Great leaders stayed calm in storms. If every message controls your emotions, you're a slave, not a master. Train yourself to delay reactions by 10 seconds. Observe emotions. Discard them. You're on a mission. You don't have time for cheap drama. Here's a secret. Focus is a social advantage. When everyone is glued to their phone and you look people in the eye, when others gossip and you work, people instinctively feel you're different. Your silence and focus create authority. So cleanse your environment. Machiavelli warned that weak companions destroy great rulers. Remove energy leeches, even if they're charming. One last rule: feedback. Power isn't rigidity. Be like a military system that updates daily. Each night ask yourself, what wasted my time today? Fix it tomorrow. All of this leads to one thing: identity change. Power isn't in what you do. It's in who you become. Focus shouldn't be something you occasionally use. It should become your second skin, visible in how you sit, speak, and move. The real test comes when everything is falling apart. Deadlines explode. Stress is everywhere. If you stay calm and work, you win. Learn to be mysterious. Let your silence intimidate others while you quietly build your empire, brick by brick. Now you know how to build iron focus, but knowledge isn't enough. So here's a roadmap to protect your focus throughout the day. Let me be blunt. 99% of people lose their day in the first 5 minutes. How? They reach for their phone before their eyes are even open. Instagram, WhatsApp, news. That's not checking your phone. That's surrender. The moment you open notifications, you open the gates of your mental fortress. Other people's demands, negative news, pointless stress flood in, and before you even leave bed, you're a slave to the outside world. Machiavelli believed whoever strikes first controls the rhythm of war. A true ruler doesn't start the day reacting. He starts by attacking. Here is the rule that changes everything: the 0-hour rule. For the first 60 minutes after waking up, absolute no entry, no messages, no news, no conversations, nothing. The world does not exist. You have one mission: attack the hardest, most intimidating task of your day. While others are still loading, drinking coffee, waking up, you secure your first major victory. Why? Because in the morning your willpower is high and your mind is clean. Waste that energy on scrolling, and you've betrayed your future. Speed and surprise are the keys to power. When you attack at 0 hour, you control the day. Tomorrow morning, throw your phone into another room. Sit down and do the thing you're afraid of. That's how you sleep at night, feeling like a victorious general, not a defeated soldier. But after 0 hour, another trap appears. Perfectionism. Perfectionism is just fear in elegant clothing, waiting for the perfect plan, endless tweaking. In war, speed is the best defense. Move fast and doubt can't catch you. Most people aim forever and never shoot. Your rule must be this: shoot first, adjust later. A flawed product released today has 10 times more honor than a perfect masterpiece that never gets built. Imperfect action beats imaginary perfection. When you're working, don't let your mind obsess over useless details. Just move forward. Be bold. Break things. Rebuild. Polish and refinement come later. Right now is the time to conquer. Remember this: the world doesn't reward smart people. It rewards fast people. So take your foot off the brake. Once you gain momentum, something predictable happens. Others will try to slow you down. Not because they're evil, but because they want you to stay average like them. They want you to be nice, available, always responsive. If you want your focus to stay razor sharp, you must learn how to disappoint people. You must learn how to be the villain in someone else's story. Every time you say yes to an untimely request, you're saying no to your own vision, to the empire you're building. Be ruthless. When your door is closed, it means you're dead to the world. When you're working, a call from your mother, a message from a friend, or an email from your boss should not penetrate that space. They may call you selfish. They may call you arrogant. Let them. Ordinary people are always uncomfortable around focused people because your silence reminds them of how much time they're wasting. So don't be afraid of upsetting others. That's the cost of power. You didn't come here to be loved. You came here to be effective. Let them wait outside. Let them think you've changed, because you have. You're no longer an obedient servant. You're the ruler of your time. Now listen, you have the battle plan. You know how to eliminate distractions, close traps, and strike at 0 hour. You understand the need for speed and ruthless refusal. You're fully armed. But here's the bitter truth. Knowledge without action is stupidity. If you close this video and go back to the same chaotic life, nothing changes. You'll just be better informed and just as stuck. This is your moment. Draw the line. Choose. Stay a spectator who talks, or become the strategist who builds an empire in silence. On this channel, we don't follow rules, we break them, and we rise above the rest.